Welcome back, everyone. NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me today to this new episode of Music with Nick. Today we got a new sponsor, Mr. Duncan. That's all I know for now about his name. Thank you so much, Duncan, for sponsoring this marathon. And this is a marathon of 3 guitar players that I've never heard of. I'm super excited. Thank you for sending me the email. I'm about to read it. Let me put it here on the screen. That's much better. It was super bright on this monitor. So it says here, hi Nick, these tracks showcase 3 guitarists you may not have heard. The first is Paul Rudolph, who played with the Pink Fairies and Hawkwind. Now I've heard of the Pink Fairies and I've heard of Hawkwind, but Paul Rudolph by himself, I have not. So I'm super interested in this, and thank you for sending me the screenshot as well. Now it says he also worked with Eno, I think Brian Eno, on a solo album. Now the second track is Stray, a very underrated band. The guitarist is Dell Bromham, who is still touring. Stray were a favorite of Rush and Iron Maiden, who covered some of their songs. All right, cool, and that is super cool and interesting. Now the last track is the brilliant Larry Miller, a superb blues guitarist in the mood of Rory Gallagher. So I do know of Rory Gallagher, of course, and it says enjoy. Thank you so much, Duncan, for this email, and very brief explanation, but sometimes I really enjoy that. It's not too much. Just like, let's walk in blindly here. So, and I'm always open for new guitar players. I've really learned how to kind of like to listen to other guitar players. I have my favorites, but yeah, sometimes it's nice, to get a different perspective and a different style, sound, all these good things. You do learn different techniques just by listening. You're like, okay, how is he doing that? That kind of deal. So it is really important to kind of like switch it up now and then, and listen to other players, because yeah, there's so much inspiration, but it's like, it's the same sound and it's the same techniques and stuff. So I'm really, really looking forward to this. So let's start it off with, we have here, this is from the album called Neverland. And let's see, this is from 1971. And this is called Uncle Harry's Last Freakout from the Pink Fairies. So let's give it up here for the first player, which is Paul Rudolph. Here we go. Thank you again, Duncan. Awesome request. Thank you. Here we go. All right, okay. I'm gonna try and
What we did about,
Very nice. All right. I love when the bass takes over and we have the guitar clearly. Very nice improvisation here. Legato, triplets. Very cool, man. Okay, I'm looking for a place to just pause so I can talk about what's happening, but there's a lot of stuff happening. I love, you know, the energy. Of course, it's 1972, 1971, you know, I love that sound. You know, Led Zeppelin is an influence, of course, Deep Purple, you know, Black Sabbath is playing, like all these bands are coming out, you know. I love the beginning, you know, the singing, and I love the heaviness of the band. And then that is awesome. I love that it kind of like he takes a little over, you know, without destroying the you know, what I don't like sometimes, you know, is like when the solo kicks in, the whole song kind of like collapses. He kept it, you know, going, you know, the bass is still doom, 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 doom. And I think this is an A or an E, one of those two, but I loved here that he's doing, you know, a really cool improvisation, a little bit of blues, you know, but like a heavy, you know, blues attack. You know, I always called like Led Zeppelin like a distorted blues band. You know, I've seen that also, of course, in you know, people, that's just the name they wanted. They didn't want to be a metal band, you know. They really refused to be called like that. So I love everything he's doing. You know, he has really cool licks in his, you know, arsenal, and he did some legato there. Like, I pointed that out, but he does some really cool alternate picking. You can see that he's very fluent on the guitar, and he's just improvising, you know, he's improvising, going back to the chord. I love that. He's really, you can hear that it wasn't really planned, but he knows to move, how to move around on the neck. You can just, you hear it, you know, you hear that he's, you know, looking, and he's like, you know, getting melodic again, and then, you know, we hear some triplets, you know, 16th notes and stuff like that, and that's just awesome. And what I love that he kind of like started with the wow, wow, you know, a little bit of chords there, Then the wah wah, he's giving a little bit of a rhythm section there. Really cool. I really like him, you know, and especially in 1972, you know, there's so many players coming out and everybody wants, you know, they want to keep it original as well. You know, we had Jimmy Page, we had Richie Blackmore, who played a lot of classical stuff, you know, and but yeah, I mean, we had just hundreds of guitarists coming out and giving us, you know, just like blowing our minds, you know. But yeah, this is really cool. I love the bass, I love the drums, the vocalist, really cool voice, you know, reminds me of, you know, bands like Uriah Heep, that kind of deal. So it's really, really, really cool. I've never really heard of the Pink Fairies, but I looked here that they're from the UK. And pretty much it says Pink Fairies are an English proto-punk rock band, initially active in London, it says here. And then, of course, it goes right to Paul Rudolph, Incarnation, which is 69 to 72. And there's Larry Wallace, Incarnation, 73 to 78. So he moved on from the band in 1980s to 90s. And so there's a lot of information here on them from the Pink Fairies. But hey, let's keep going with the song. It's really, really good. Really, I'm really liking what I'm hearing. So here we go. Let's keep going. I'm going to go back a couple of seconds. A Crybaby. Some pentatonic runs here. Okay. Yes. Chromatic, dun 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 dun. I love this riff because it's a typical, you know, chromatic run, dun 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 dun, and that had just like some kind of like, it just sounds dark, you know. The Black Sabbath, Tommy Iommi used to do that a lot, and it just gives you like a darker vibe instead of just like playing, you know, a normal, you know, major scale riff, and it just, I don't know, it just works in a different way, you know. There's a certain like sound to it, and I really like this. So it obviously gives you that Black Sabbath, Uriah Heep vibe. Like I never really, I don't know, I would have to check. I think Immigrant Song also has that dum 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 dum. It's not a chromatic run, it's more like a power chord played, you know, broken down into yeah, this is really good. I'm really liking it. Let's continue. And I like that, you know, I just want to play, you know, the lyrics. I can't really pull them up. They're not available, but it's okay. The whole song is really cool because I love how he came back. There was like some weird keyboard, you know, effect there, and it went back to the beginning. So really cool. And I think he's going to take another solo. Let's see. Playing the octave here. Wow.
Everyone should be so happy. Everyone should be so merry. You and me can be so very free. You and me can be so free. Everyone can be so free. Everyone can be so very free. So very free. So very free.
I love when that happens. Some slap back here, echo. That bass. Speeding it up. Drum. Very nice, man. That hammer, those hammer and pull-offs. Really cool. I love how they literally took it down totally, you know, silent, and then went back up and, you know, sped up every bar or so, the drums. Also, a thing that I wanted to talk about, this was a really cool effect that I think Black Sabbath used to do, to play the solo and have the delay of the solo, like basically the echo of the solo on this channel. Like you hear the solo as it happening, and the delay of the solo, which is the same, obviously, on this side, a little bit, you know, pulled back maybe a second. So you would have like these two solos playing at the same time in your head, but this one first and this one kind of like comes second. Really cool, like way, and then they were moving it around on the whatever, on the switch, on the board, you know, in the studio. So the solo's kind of like doing this, you know, in your head. Really cool, the Pink Fairies. First time for me, I think, you know, I could be wrong, because sometimes these marathons, they always have 5 songs. I could have already listened to a track, but I wouldn't be sure. But never really like focusing on the guitar player. And here it was, what is his name again? Paul, right? Let's see. I have the email. I pulled it up and now I closed it. Of course. Let's see. I just had it here. Yeah, Paul Rudolph. Okay, so really interesting, really cool. I loved it. And wow, there's so many members on this band. Crazy. And they're still, it looks like they're still going. Started in 87, 88, and then 2014 to present. So that'd be fun, you know, to watch them, catch them on tour. Okay, now we're gonna go with Stray. This is called Suicide, from the album Suicide, 1971. All right, here we go with the track Number 8 on the album. All right, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna rewind it completely. I remember the first time I bought a distortion pedal. It was an Ibanez distortion pedal, and it was super like that kind of distortion, which I don't use anymore. It's just, but I remember that's the first thing I did. I put in the distortion. I put it into my amp, and then and the first thing I did, like, you know, like, wow, what a feeling to, you know, to imitate some kind of motor with your guitar. So cool. The video we watched, Alexia and I, on Montrose, that kind of deal, you know, Van Halen used to do it a lot. They're called dive bombs or whatever, you know. And if you have a Floyd Rose, you're going to have a lot of fun because your guitar is not going to get out of tune. So yeah, I just love to do that. It's a lot of fun. I can see myself doing it a lot, you know. So let's go from the start. This is just so good. This reminds me, this is a band that I unfortunately never mentioned, and I've never received some kind of like request. Motorhead. Motorhead is a legendary band. You know, I had a Motorhead shirt, and I wore that shirt to death. I don't know, and I wasn't even a fan. I just didn't get it at the time. You know, what's his name again? May he rest in peace. Lemmy, I think, the bass player. he was such an iconic guy. Just the way he sung, you know, like this with his mic like up to here, and that's what that sounds like a little bit. Bum bum bam bum bum bam ba-da-dum, dum, 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 bum 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 bam. I love how they lock that in. You know, that the bass and the drums creating like literally a little canvas for him to just go, you know, and shred. This is a really cool sounding band. It sounds almost like a punk, something out of a punk band, but listen to this. They are hard rock, heavy metal, psychedelic rock, even progressive and blues, and they're still going. They started in, this is from 1971. It started in 66. They're still here. They're still present. 2023 and present. We got Steve Gadd, which I thought there's another Steve Gadd, I think, the drummer. Dell Bromham, that's the guitar player. Gary Gillies, and etc. You know, I'm mispronouncing all of them, but also from England, London here. So really cool. I'm really digging this sound. You know, this, yeah, I can only compare it to something like Motorhead, you know, or maybe something even punkier, you know. So let's keep going. that was so good. It was so rhythm based. Even when he started soloing, very like Hendrix influenced. You know, Hendrix would play a lot of chords between his solos. He would play like, you know, some kind of like chord progression, and then maybe like 3-4 notes, you know, in the pentatonic scale, or some kind of blues lick, and that's made his sound so special, you know. And I love this, like dum bum 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 ba da dum dum bum dum dum bum bum bum. Just very memorable. Reminds me a little bit like very catchy, like Black Knight by Deep Purple. You know, that kind of deal. It's just something that sticks to you. Very easy to remember. It's just catchy and good. This was really good. I think this was my first time listening to Stray. Again, if I'm wrong, let me know. You know, you keep better like score with these. You know, all these bands are new to me, so sometimes I'm like, oh, I've never heard this before, and then I did like 5 videos on them. So I do apologize for that. This was just bonkers good. This was just power, fire. You know, they are young and they're, you know, just letting us know what they got. Really, really cool band. Still going. I'm really happy, you know, especially when I see bands from the 60s and 70s that are still going, like the Stones. You know, it's just insane. Now, these, of course, are not as big, but hey, you know, doesn't matter. Now, this one is Larry Miller, our third guitar player. It says the last track is the brilliant Larry Miller, superb blues guitarist, in the mood of Rory Gallagher. So let's give it up for him. So far, this marathon has been a blast, really, really good. So here we go with do you not with of Live and Loud is the concert, and this is from what seems to be 2001. I might be wrong, but that's the date that is on Spotify, and I love the face he makes on the cover. Really, really cool. So here we go with the last track. Enjoy.
When will my phone ring, baby? When will you call me? Yeah. If I go out, am I to blame? Do you think I wanna be my lover, baby? Come on, be my lover again. Yeah.
That feedback. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Another year has flown. You and me alone. Your head there, you can hear. Come on. Do you not wanna be my lover, baby? Come on, be my lover again.
Great drummer, man.
Wanna be my lover, baby? Come on, be my lover again. Wanna be my lover, baby? Come on, be my lover again. Yeah.
Fade out. Wow. I love it, man. This is. Okay, I loved how this recording, captured the essence of a live recording when you kind of like, you go a little bit on an improv. I love his playing. I love the band. I love that like don 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 don, very catchy as well. All these guitar players have really something special. I really appreciate them all. I really love their sound. It's so interesting to listen to other players. Like, I don't know if these players are very famous. I have no idea. Maybe they're underrated, but there is so many players that are so good that they don't get the praise they deserve. One of them, and I've even looked it up, and I even type in underappreciated guitar players. Now some of them, Wikipedia gets it wrong, but there's some amazing players that just don't get the recognition they deserve because they are literally on like a top level, and they just don't, like, something about it doesn't click to the mainstream media. I mean, I don't know, I could like literally name 20 right now that I think do not get the attention they deserve. But hey, I don't want to get I've gotten into trouble by mentioning players that I love and that I love their playing, but just because I call them underappreciated, I get into trouble. It's just like, you have to be very careful what you say, because everybody is like super like when it comes to guitar players and music, I'm like that myself. If somebody talks, for terms, for lack of a better term, if they talk shit about my players, it bothers me, and of course I would express my unhappiness, so that's why I don't want to get into it. But it's just like, unfortunately, it is a thing, and the top 10 are always going to be the top 10, because either they were with us way too short, or they just like they were so big that you can't get them off the pedestal. And even though they don't have the technique that other players have, or you know, the creativity or the sound, or just you know, I don't know, they're good, but there's other players who just like blow them away. Those players are always going to stay up on top because they just like, I guess, were innovators or changed history in some sort of form. But as a guitar player, you know, when I listen to a player, there's some players that are like right up there at the top 10. And I listen to them, I'm like, you know, that's really not that difficult at all. I guess it was just life, you know, changing for other people when like players from the 50s, you know, and 60s. And then suddenly players came out and they were doing things that you'd never seen before, and that just was pretty much so impactful that to this day there's still, those players are still, you know, up there and reigning over everybody else. And it's just the thing, you know, I guess it has been like this with movies, with art, with all sorts of art form. You know, there's movies that are still considered the best movies ever made, and you watch them and they're like, well, you know, I've seen other movies that are pretty much a little bit better, but again, they have that status of like, they just withstood the test of time, and you know, they're just, you know, now statues of greatness. Thank you so much, Duncan, for this, you know, for this little taste of great musicians. All of them were just super different, but the bands here really shined through. You know, the guitar players, awesome, but also the bands that were playing in, I mean, they have, you know, you have to give them all the credit because they're really the driving force to give that guitar player the inspiration to, you know, to come out with their best work. It's all improvisation, and it's all like, you know, done in the moment. Those are the best records when people, you know, one of the greatest solos, like most of them are improvised, you know, like one take. It just, you know, like Kid Charlemagne, we have David Gilmour, you know, Comfortably Numb. All those songs were just written in that moment. And, you know, it was just like, you know, Larry Carlton said, moments were just on my side. You know, the music and the notes were just on my side that day. So it's just fantastic. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful thing to witness that. So again, thank you so much for this amazing marathon. Thanks everybody for watching. If you like this video, enjoy subscribing, liking. You can dislike the video, you can leave a comment. I really appreciate it all. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.